the World Cup, which has been about as good as you could ask for. Part of the drama heading into this was this. It felt like a lot of people were considering this a watered-down World Cup. More teams, the games wouldn't be as exciting. I think the counter has happened entirely. All of these smaller teams get a chance to have their moment on the stage, but more importantly, against lesser competition, the stars looked like stars. Messi with 5 goals in 2 games, setting the record last night in Dallas. Incredible scenes. Not to necessarily relive because we relived it in the moment, Jonah, yesterday, but just the fact that happened and you were still kind of like sensing it, right? Like it is still kind of the glow that is wavering off of this World Cup that we're seeing the best perform at this stage. What's been your main takeaway so far?
I think it's exactly that. It's just the stars have all shown out in the brightest of ways. And I'm checking right here. 6 minutes into Portugal's match today, Cristiano Ronaldo finally got on the board because he was taking heat after that first match because all these stars were lighting it up, and Cristiano and Portugal were fighting to a draw in their first match. And so good to see him get on the board as well because it was he and Messi for a really long time. And there was a lot of debate on who was the best player in soccer. And really over the last 10 years, Messi kind of distanced himself a bit from that discussion. But there are still a lot of Cristiano Ronaldo stands out there. And
I'm not going down the stand route again. We've done that before.
Speaking of stands, Uzbekistan. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, to be fair, his goal today came against the Seattle Storm of the World Cup. So.
Hey, you know what, though? I mean, maybe I was rooting a little bit for Uzbekistan. I'm not going to lie. I like an underdog. That's why I'm a Rangers fan.
When you put it like
got
that.
An Uzbekistan flag at home. She's flying it proudly.
I was going to say that the wristwatch looks a little bit like the green in their flag. I think you could get that to work.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
But seriously, like the star power in the World Cup has been phenomenal. And I go back to the first match of that, where we had Mbappe scored twice, Haaland scored twice, and then Messi was like, hold my beer, I'm going to score a hat trick. We're like, oh my God, this is incredible. Like, this is like literally what we want to watch the World Cup for, is to see the stars shine. Harry Kane lights it up for England. He's looking in top form. And then, of course, we come back around to the second round of matches, and here we go again. Mbappe 2, Haaland 2, Messi 2. It's sort of it's part of what the World Cup's about. I think part of it is also seeing some of the underdogs, fight and get victories. But for the large part, it's seeing these top players play at the top of their powers for their countries. And I'm so excited for the knockout stage because we're going to start to see these guys go head to head, and then they're not going to just beat up on the lower teams in their groups. That's when to me, it's going to get even more exciting because, we're going to see Haaland and Mbappe fight it out to win that group, which is going to be cinema.
That was going to be what I wanted to say, actually, because it's kind of interesting on this goal streak because Mbappe's 2 behind Messi. As much as it was an awesome moment for Messi, he's looking over his shoulder going, Mbappe, what are you doing? You're right on my tail, man. So, and what's fascinating to me is, again, that Norway-France match is going to be cinema. It's going to decide the group and decide a lot of the tournament in terms of where those big teams go in the bracket. But what does Argentina do, knowing Mbappe probably has to be a factor in that game? With Argentina all but sewing up the group, do they play Messi to try and rise up the record? Because Jordan is a team you might be able to score against.
It's something to take into consideration for sure. Jonah and Gigi, I'm interested in your thoughts on this. Andrew and I were talking about this before the show started today. And I likened the Messi-Mbappe of it all to Maguire and Sosa. Where it's like, you get one, I got to get one. I got 2, now you got to get 2. And just this with them chasing each other. And then, Andrew, you had a different analogy, so I'll let you give yours. And then I want to hear their answers.
Yesterday, I went tennis with Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, where Federer, it was so far on the back half of his career, and so was Nadal. But, the idea was, I'm the first to 20, and I'm just going to try and push it out there as far as I can before Djokovic and the rest of you guys catch up to me. Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, I guess I like the Sosa and Maguire analogy. This one's juice free, I guess. This soccer.
We hope they're juicing the ball in other ways.
But yeah, the tennis, the Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, that analogy, because You look at Messi, he's 38 years old. He's got the record for now. Mbappe is 27. He's 11 years younger.
It's insane.
If the thing is, if Argentina is upset, if they get eliminated earlier than expected in this World Cup, Mbappe might have that record. But if France moves on, he might have that record by the end of this World Cup the way he's playing. Just 'cause he ended yesterday with the same amount of goals as Messi began the day with. And I know a lot of the focus is on Messi, but the fact that Mbappe has done so much in such a young career, it's just astounding to me.
Jonah, what do you think?
I think it's nice for Mbappe that he gets to play with an absolute house of a France team. I mean,
True.
You got Michael Olise just teeing you up time and time again. I mean, how could you not score that many goals? I mean, there's a reason they're probably the favorite to win the whole thing, and they've just been an absolute juggernaut for the last 2 to 3, 4, 5 World Cups. But I feel like in some ways Mbappe is sort of underappreciated because Messi gets, he's such a gravitational pull for soccer fans that here's Mbappe, he's only 2 behind him, and still everybody's attention is flooded on what Messi is accomplishing. And for good reason, because this very well could be his last World Cup. And for him to kind of do this on this stage is nuts.
Jonah, I don't mean to cut you off, but
breaking news.
Right on time,
Yeah.
Ronaldo just scored his second goal of the match. This World Cup's nuts.
I don't know. Part of me was hoping he would have another goose egg today, just because.
Just to dig the ditch a little bit deeper. I mean, come on, man.
People would just be lighting him up. Listen. When you look like that, you don't really have to work super hard in life, and so I still think it's impressive. I still think it's impressive that Cristiano's turned himself to be one of the great soccer players of all time. Good for Cristiano Ronaldo. We need all the stars to just shine, and that is what makes the World Cup so great. That's what's going to make this game. It's going to bring in casual fans. That's sort of what '94 did to some degree when the World Cup was in the U.S. last. That's what we need. We need these guys to shine brightest because it's going to make it fun to watch, and it's going to help propel the game for years to come. Listen, I've said it before. If Lamine Yamal is in full form and fit and healthy, he's going to smoke Mbappe's record in 16 years. The form that he's shown for Barcelona. So, listen, all these records are cute and they're nice, but they're going to get smoked in the matter of 15, 20 years.
Which, can I just say, I saw a video of Lamine Yamal just, I believe, out at a Walmart in Tennessee where they're training. I mean, how cool is that? Just to have that experience, to have it here in the States, to just, oh, hey, there's one of the brightest, young, and best soccer players in the world.
That doesn't compute to me. I'm still getting over the fact that Buc-ee's is having a resurgence. You know what I mean? Like everyone discovering this oasis of gas in the middle of nowhere with a beaver mascot is fascinating to me.
It's heaven to many people.
It's heaven to many people. Gigi, I know you've been out and about amongst the fans a lot recently around the World Cup. How have you seen all the different cultures come into play? And I think you gave us some video of a pretty interesting setup too to watch it.
Yeah, so there's a ton of watch parties obviously happening. I've been out at the FIFA Fan Fest a few times. Yesterday I was with Austria in the morning as they marched toward Dallas Stadium at 8 a.m. That was a lot of fun. It wasn't quite the size and magnitude of Netherlands and their orange bus, but just being in the middle of that, it's fun. It's exciting because if you can't get in the stadium, it's the next best thing. But yeah, you referenced the video that I had. It's a story I'm working on for tomorrow, just showing people an option of watch parties. This is at Epic Central in Grand Prairie, and just check this out. They have a water show every night that's not soccer related, but during the World Cup, they are, especially those night games, they are broadcasting them on that water fountain. So that may be the most giant, I don't know if I can call it screen, but the biggest visual that you can have for the World Cup game. And tomorrow, Mexico plays at 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and Grand Prairie is about 50% Hispanic. Last Mexico game, Epic Central and Grand Prairie broke attendance records. They had more than 5,000 people there. So I imagine with that night game on the Fountain, Mexico playing, that tomorrow night is going to be a heck of an atmosphere out there, among other places as well. But that'll be a good one.
Jonah, you were squinting. Was it because you were trying to see what it was, or because you are disbelieving of what is happening?
Probably a little bit of both. My brain went to imagine trying to watch that in the middle of like the day. Like it's high noon.
Well, it wouldn't be in the middle of the day.
Yeah, they're
at
not.
night. Yeah.
I don't think they're.
I know it wouldn't. I'm just saying hypothetically, could you imagine trying to watch that during the day? Like at least at night, it's the only time it would work.
Well, if you were
It's kinda
Uzbekistan
cool.
right now, you'd rather watch, have to squint and not have to see it.
There's that. And also the other thing is, like, I kept trying to look up in the top left corner of what the fountains were showing, and I was wondering whether you could see the score bug. Because I'm like, if you go and get some food or something, you hear a pop, and you come back, you think it's a goal. But everyone all of a sudden, like, because there have been a lot of offsides, there have been a lot of overturned goals in this World Cup. It's like, keeping track these days without a score bug readily visible is kind of interesting.
Well, I will say they do have other typical screens surrounding the area. There are restaurants and bars that have outdoor screens and stuff. So that's just the one that kind of wows you until you realize you can't see the score bug, I guess.
It's a modern-day drive-in theater, except it's not, kind of.
A boat-in theater.
A boat-in theater. Klay Thompson can stick around and bring that thing up. I do got to ask about the U.S. men's national team. It's weird going into a match where the result does not matter in a positive way because they've already advanced to the knockout round. Jonah, just real quick, expectations. Is there anything we need to see from this Turkey game, or is it just kind of everyone stay healthy?
I don't think we need to see Christian Pulisic. If he's coming off some form of soft tissue injury, I don't care if he practiced in some capacity or trained and he's feeling better. I wouldn't run the risk. Let him fully heal up and save him for the knockout stage, which is when this thing really matters. So that would be the one thing I hope I don't see in their third and final match of group play.
Yeah, I think the thing I'd like to see is, obviously I agree with Jonah. Pulisic shouldn't be playing. But if they play those starters a limited amount of time, I just want to see those next level guys, that second wave of players, and maybe potentially beyond that. Just see them hold the line, kind of, and whether they score or not, just play defensively well against Turkiye. I believe it's Turkiye these days.
I was going to say we went down that rabbit hole recently. Yeah, there was just so people that don't know. Obviously, they were known in English as Turkey for a while. They wanted to separate any association with the bird. So in 2022, they sent a letter to, I forget whether it was the UN or just the nations in general, and basically said, hey, we would like to be preferred or referred to as our spoken name, which is Turkiye. So that's how they refer to themselves, and we have adopted it as a result. It's basically, calling them Turkey is kind of dead naming them in a way.
Is this the same process you go through to get extraordinaire added on?
That's a great question. Yes. We need to find that out.